Thanks for staying up later. This, my friends, is Dana Carvey.
Yes.
And right here
We have nothing to say.
on this list of suggested questions, I have done no personal research. However, the crack staff hands me some suggested questions. And
just out of the blue,
what do you think is first? What do you do now that Bush is out? Because Phil Hartman's got Clinton.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
I never did Reagan. People are so funny because, you know, they're like, can you do Clinton? I mean, they're like, stop me on the street. Can you at least try? Like, what? You know, Phil Hartman is he's the perfect Clinton, you know, so it's fine. I think I squeezed, if Bush, my George Bush impression were a wet rag, I would have run completely dry. I mean, I had nothing else to do there. And then after I went to the White House to see Bush, which was a trip. I mean, my wife and I are in the Lincoln bedroom. He comes in, how you doing? Good to see you. Why don't you sit it up downstairs down there? And we were like having cocktails with him. I was sitting on the bed with Bush watching television, and Clinton is on one screen. He's got 5 TVs there. Clinton's sitting there, and I'm just looking at Bush, you know, because you don't only take the guy's job, you move into his bedroom, you know? And I was like going, I guess Clinton will like this bed, you know. Bush didn't find that funny at all. He was a really nice guy. He hadn't seen a lot of what I had done with him. Because otherwise, I don't think he would have invited me. He never saw me on my knees going, don't make me a one-termer, please, you know. But he was a very charming guy, you know.
See, he acted, though, like he was familiar with at least some of it. The way he introduced you and talked about you.
He did see some of it. He definitely saw some of it. And you know, he said the night before at dinner, he goes, well, he just wanted to show that he had a sense of humor about himself. He wasn't a sour, bitter man or something. So, you know, I just have fond feelings for him. Politics aside, I found myself really liking him. He's kind of charming. That's all I can say.
The way to do the president is to start out with Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Then you add a little John Wayne. Here we go. Let's go over the ridge. You put them together. You got George Herbert Walker Bush. That's the thing there.
I was just grappling for all the shtick I could come up with, Bob, because I thought I was going to do 1 minute that morning, because he was going to say goodbye to his staff, so he wanted to send me out, because it could have been a tearjerker scene. So I came out, and they go, do 20 minutes, right before I came out. So I was just thinking of anything I could do. So I said, yeah, that I did call the Secret Service and feel like going jogging tonight, midnight, nude. See you on the lawn out there, you know.
Now, was the audience a little unsure of how they should react, or did they just let it go right off the bat? I mean, the audience at the White House.
They went crazy. They were the best audience in the world, because I think they were pretty tense, because he was going to come out, and then they saw me, and they're like, oh, thank God this won't be heavy, you know, because you didn't want to see him, you know. I mean, I saw him tear up. It was weird. I mean, I saw him get very emotional. We went to the Kennedy Center, and we really hung out for a couple of days, and he got a standing ovation. I was up in the president's box, you know, and you know, Walter Cronkite goes, no, let's give a thing, salute the man who gave 50 years to the country, Mr. President. And everyone stood and gave him a standing ovation. He's like this, and he was just quivering and tears and everything, you know. It was sort of weird. You felt like kind of looking away. Or
did Barbara seem to get a kick out of this? Did she like your impression of him?
Yeah, she's got a really good sense of humor. Yeah, she was just like pretending that she was mad at me. Like when she met me, she turned away and stuff like that, you know.
Thank you very, very much, and God bless you all. And wasn't he lucky I didn't hit him right on the head?
But yeah, she was tough. She didn't, you know, I think that they'd had a lot, you know, being in that fishbowl. Now the Clintons are getting it. Everything they do is like blown up. I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to be like a really cool president anymore. We just seem to want to attack anyone who's in there. The guys have been in office a week, and they're going, well, it's over, next, you know.
Who was the last really cool president, though?
Kennedy.
Yeah, I guess.
And we know what happened to him. Kennedy jokes still aren't funny. Maybe in 20 years. The last cool president? You know who was? Reagan.
You know, he was.
For the first year, he's like a superstar. Because we were so beat up over, can we just talk about politics here today? Over Carter and that whole thing and the hostages. Now we had like John Wayne in the White House, and people were very happy about
regardless of whether you agree with him on policy, and like you say, after a while it became clear his capacities were diminished. He wasn't quite sure where he was in the second term. But this guy did have the performer's sense of the moment. You know, when Carter was the incumbent president and the debate they had in the 1980 election, on points, if you were just at a debating school, Carter is kicking his butt. Right? He's making all the points, he's better prepared, but to the public, Reagan is routing him, simply because he just knew the human things to say to connect with the audience.
He just oozed charm. you know, what if Reagan, well, could he? No, he wouldn't want to take Letterman's spot, would he? Because we're like talking about him, like, but he's too old, so.
You think Baraxo would come on board as a sponsor, the 20 Mule team?
Oh, God, you had me for a second. I thought Baraxo. I thought it was some, like, Greek actor I should know. You're like, doing a Dennis Miller on me. Baraxo. It's like some Baraxo and that Simeon plot he did, huh? Okay. Borax, yeah. So we're the same age, right?
40.
Pretty much. You're 40?
I'm 40.
Really?
And you?
Well, Bob, I'm 37. Feels good.
Well, you...
I can still touch my toes. Wounds heal quickly.
Can wear my jacket.
Healthy gums. Can wear your clothes. Yes, this is Bob Costas' jacket. I'm wearing your clothes. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Our careers are parallel. We're both being bandaged about as a Letterman replacement.
And neither one of us is going to do it.
We've been with the same woman for 20 years, right?
Yeah, one woman.
We share her. We're just trying to hang on.
Well, we're out of town at different times. It works.
Yeah, right. We're hanging on to the boyish thing until it goes away. We're going to work it as long as we can. Of course, Carson used it till he was 70.
Yeah,
He's only 68, but he's...
Now, have you talked to Johnny lately?
No.
Did he get ticked off?
What are you saying? Digging for dirt, Mr. Costas? No, I don't know. I do. I would like to say publicly, because maybe Johnny's watching this, that I did think it was mean at times. You know, I didn't write all those Carsons. I thought they got a little over the line, which is sort of what Saturday Night Live does. You know, we're kind of mean, you know.
Right.
So when I leave the show, they'll do some sketch on me that will be mean, probably. You just sort of accept it, you know. But, you know, for me personally, I wasn't looking to attack Johnny Carson. I just loved the way he spoke and the way he interviewed people and stuff. And I didn't think anyone had ever really done that side of him.
Oh, wait a minute. It says here, Lincoln bedroom.
Yeah, we were in the Lincoln bedroom.
You and Bush together in the Lincoln bedroom.
He came in. My wife and I spent the night there.
In the Lincoln bedroom.
And everyone asked you, hey, anything happen? You know, you got this giant portrait of Lincoln looking down on you. It's not the sexiest place in the world. And they're right down the hall. And their screams are enough to scare the hell out of you. Well, all I can say is the honeymoon ain't over. Believe me, it was wild.
How does the ex-president sound in the...
Good. Feeling good. George Bush having sex. That'll be good. He'll be down there in Houston. Well, it's all over. Finally, I can relax. Oh, a little insomnia. Oh, Costas. I want him dead. We should just let him drift off into the night. I've got to find a new character.
Didn't you used to do Jimmy Stewart having sex?
And all my characters having sex. That's the funniest thing in the world. We can't do it on television unless we bleep it.
Go ahead.
Jimmy Stewart having sex? Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, well, it's getting better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, do me, bitch, do me. I never did that here? Cary Grant?
Cary Grant.
No, they'll sue the network.
You know, Cary Grant, although he's not with us, was a litigious man. Once sued Chevy Chase. Mm-hmm. Sued him for
Cary Grant.
Some comment he made on the Snyder Show.
A little, you can cut it if you have to. Cary Grant having sex. Excuse me. I do believe you're sitting on my p***. Well, I told you, I don't know what it is. You can be a Harvard grad or I don't care who you are. Nothing. I thought of putting out a party album of all my characters having sex. Because I don't know why. It's the funniest thing in the world, is them having sex.
Now, here's a little pointer for you.
Yes,
You're going to wind up hosting a talk show. If you just happen to stumble into a fertile area, one that can't miss, stay on it till it burns itself out.
Just follow the road.
Katharine Hepburn having sex.
Boy, well, I used to do her starting her cars, you know.
You did that here already.
Katharine Hepburn having sex. I feel like I'm on a game show. Oh, I used to do. Oh boy. No, I can't. I can't do this.
Who else is on this party album?
Well, you know, I worked with Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I like you like this, but I do. I'm gonna have you. We're having sex. Oh, I don't know. It gets much rawer, but I really can't. This would be out in this will be in some blooper thing.
No one else?
I don't know. Well, I could take requests.
I want to make sure I've milked this completely before we go to the commercial.
No, I mean, yeah, that's right. Now, here's the deal. Now, I drop my drawers, and I'll get real excited. You'll know. See, you'll be able to take a gander. When I get excited, then we'll jump in the sack. You catch me? Right on. There's just one off the top, right? You know. But, yeah, we could do a later show, like a 4 a.m. show, where I just, like, unload it. We should book that.
I am very grateful to Dana and to Paula for being here. And Dana's given me a lot of laughs.